Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome to the Peace Circle. My name is Gina and I am blessed to be here as the host of this show. I am part of the prayer team on New Thought Media Network, and I am also the spiritual director of CSL Greater Boston. And it is a blessing for me to be here with you this afternoon. Wherever you are, I am grateful you are here. And we have a wonderful guest. Hello, Anne. Greetings from Central Illinois. And that is someone that I know is here for our extra special guest, who is Karen Drucker today. And this is the second time she's come on the show. And for those of you that don't know, I am absolutely a huge fan. And I am going to introduce her in just a minute. But I always begin our Peace Circle with I Too Have a Dream. See, the Peace Circle is here to help uplift ourselves, to then be out there to uplift the world. We are the change we wish to see. As individualized expressions of light, the peace within me creates the peace in the world. So I too have a dream. In my dream, too, we all are equal, and not color, religion, nor income defines who we are. Neither country nor region defines us as kin. Whether 2 legs or 4, plant or animal, we were all created of the one Creator, with no greater claim to borrow this beautiful earth. In my dream, we all are one, treating each other with love and respect, and living in peace. We are all truly awake, knowing our purpose to share love and joy and to uplift each other, and in doing so, uplift ourselves. In my dreams, we each remember and appreciate each other and truly understand that all is well. And it is. All is well, regardless of what it seems. And sometimes it definitely can be confusing. Well, tonight, the beauty of life itself, to me, the greatest, one of the greatest. Of course, we see beauty every day. We see it in people. We see it in the magnificent springtime. We see it in everything if we're looking. But music, to me, touches my soul in a way that nothing else can. And this particular woman has done that more than any for me. Karen Drucker is a singer-songwriter, teacher, workshop facilitator, and an amazing person that has given so much to many communities throughout CSL and Unity and the New Thought movement to help us become that we wish to see in the world, and definitely has made such a difference for me in my consciousness. So I am privileged to introduce Karen Drucker, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Peace Circle.
Thank you, dear one. Boy, Gina, that's so sweet of you. That just makes my day. And I love to see that Ann Pogue is already here. We can go on if Ann Pogue is here.
We've got a bunch of people saying hello. Pam Brown.
Pam Brown. I love it. I love
from
it.
Ocala. We've got Martha that's here.
Oh, fun.
And Martha's actually in Rhode Island, where I am. We are covered from the east to from the west to the east coast. We are all set.
I love it. All right. Well, you asked me to start off with this song tonight. So tonight, whatever time zone you're in. So let's just start off with this. What?
I'm going to put a plug in there right before you sing it. You actually gave this one away this month on people need to go to your website and they need to sign up for your newsletter, because every month you give a free song away in your kindness and generosity. And this month, this is the perfect one. We are going to be talking about today. We're talking about being in the new beginnings as we're in springtime, as we're coming out of what was a extremely difficult couple of years. We've got a whole bunch of new beginnings happening, and just breathe. Give ourselves a whole new beginning, a new attitude, a new mindset, and just breathe.
Love it. All right, so let's start off with that. Just everyone, just take a deep breath. Just whatever you've gone through today, if you've been running around like me, just take a deep breath. Kind of make this a meditation song, and you can we'll make this really easy. You can sing after me. So when I sing the words, you could just sing after me. So it goes like this. I breathe in, I breathe in, I breathe out, I breathe out, I take in, I give out, I let love, I let go, I release, and I know. Actually, what do you need to release today? Let's even look at that. Let's just do that last line. I release. Anything you need to release before we move on? And I know. Here we go. I forgive. I forgive. I receive. I can feel. I believe. I am healed. I am whole. I release. And I know. Now take a deep breath. You're going to sing this one word. Breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath. Do it again. Feels so good, doesn't it? Breathe. Breathe. No need to push, no need to push, no need to try, no need to worry or question why. Surrender, let go, release, and know. Here's that breathe song again. Breathe. Whatever else we're going to do today on this, breathe. Just think about what is your one intention for this hour of being with the two of us. Just breathe. New beginnings, springtime. What's your intention? Breathe. One word. Just breathe. I needed that.
I did too. And I was just breathing. And you know what a gift it is for the reminder. You know, I was laughing, of course, right in this moment is when sunset is happening. So that's why you see the glare, which of course wasn't here, even 10 minutes ago.
Right.
And, but I know if I wait even a few minutes, it'll change. That's life. That's the opportunity that we get to remember that no matter what, it'll change. Sometimes there's some things that we love and we would rather it didn't. But the truth is, you know what? It changes. So
this too
hang
shall
on.
pass. This too
Exactly.
shall pass.
And Pope, she needed it as well. And we had a request for prayer, healing vibes to the Angeles family.
Oh,
Absolutely. Knowing that there is healing there, knowing that absolutely there is, one of the things we were talking about on right before we got started, and we were chatting about how sometimes it's hard to just be okay and stay centered in peace, in joy, in all the good stuff, almost feeling guilty when there's so much happening in life.
oh yeah. I mean, I love the point that you made that it's like it's both. It's allowing yourself to have whatever joy or whatever dreams you're going for, at the same time as you are also holding the what the world is going through. I mean, if we just put all of our attention over there, you mentioned the very first thing you talked about today was the light in you. That we have to be that light. We have to continue being that light. And if we just focus on all the hard stuff that's going on, how can you keep your light shining? You can't. It just burns out. So for us to take time to do something like this, where you give yourself this hour to breathe and meditate and be with like-minded people, it allows us to keep that flame going so that we can be those sources of healing and light in this wacky, wacky time that we're living in.
And it's a very interesting times, interesting times. And there's a lot of beauty and wonder, and there's a lot of things that are hard to even witness. And
Oh,
it's not about denying them or pretending they're not there. That is not my sacred duty. That's how I look at it. My first minister in science of mind was Reverend Dr. Ian Taylor, and he said, "Well, then you're not helping anyone." And basically called me out on, it's our duty within the oneness to
uh,
care.
yeah, I agree. Did you ever see the movie Shadowlands with Anthony Hopkins and Deborah Winger?
I
Great
have
movie.
not.
Great movie. Write it down to see
I
at some
have.
point. But there's this one scene, and I don't want to give away the plot, but there's this one scene where he is saying to her something about, I mean, they're in this beautiful field in England and they're looking out over this majestic land. And he says something to her about how can you be happy in a time like this? And she was making this reference that I just always think is so true. It's the bittersweet. It's like you have this, it's two sides of the coin. You can't have, I mean, it's actually like that other, my favorite movie of all time. Oh, what is it? That Pixar movie with Amy Poehler. It'll come to me. But the idea that there was the joy character and the,
I love her. I love
do
her.
you remember what that movie was? I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, it'll come to me in the middle of a song or something. But the idea that you have to have joy and sadness be together. You
Yes.
can't have one without the other. You have to, and I loved what you said before about you can't do spiritual bypasses on any of this stuff. You have to feel it and see it and witness it, but to sink into it all is not where we need to be. We need to have both. Inside Out. Thank you, Ann Pogue. She is on it with everything I ever do. Inside Out. Do you know that movie, Gina? Have you seen
I
that?
love that movie. I own that movie,
Oh,
absolutely.
do you? You
I
own
do,
it?
because it's we get to choose, and that's why I chose this topic. We always get a choice.
Yes.
I cannot be sad enough to make someone else happy. I cannot be poor enough to make someone else wealthy. I cannot be. I can't feel bad enough to make anyone better, but I can feel good enough to shine light and make things better.
Ah,
I can be wealthy enough to let it flow and circulate it and do good with it. I can create good and better from my good, but I can never do that from the negative stuff. So my duty is, as a practitioner, now as a minister, to come into alignment with, okay, what is my duty as just a human in this oneness called spirit, called life, called whatever it is you call it. It's my duty to try to lift up consciousness. And I can only do that if I monitor my own. And it begins with breathing.
yeah. Well, what that whole thing you just said, you're a writer, right? Don't you have some books out?
I have a few, yes.
So what you just said, I hope you will go back and listen to the tape of what you just did, and that whole little section right there is a beautiful writing. I mean, I heard that. I went, well, there's a song. She's just saying the lyrics to the song right there. I mean, it was beautiful. I can only do enough to. I mean, everything you just said right there was just quotable.
Thank you. And it's hard sometimes.
Oh God, truly.
It is difficult to watch what is going on in the Ukraine right now and think, well, how do I make my life better? And the truth is that is still my job.
Yeah.
We get the opportunity. It's a gift. It's a privilege. I just watched a little snippet thing that, it's we had, what is it, 2,800 in like 76 seconds or something like that in a day. I forget how many minutes there are in a day, but that's our bank account.
25,600 minutes.
Yes.
525,000 moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
We get that.
Yeah.
So what will we do with it? Honestly, it's not that empathy is wasted. It's never wasted. Information is important because it's power.
Right.
And there's a tipping scale. So I used to find myself, and I can still get caught up in watching the news in the same cycles for an hour, for 2 hours, because waiting for it to change. That's what I'm doing. I realize I'm waiting for it to change. And I'm like, why do I keep watching this? The same
breaking news. It's all going to be different. Let me tell you a brand new story. It's like,
nothing has happened.
Yeah, right. Well, you asked me to sing a few different songs today, and it's kind of a perfect setup what you just said, because, I talk a lot in my songs about choice. I think it's really, I use that topic all the time because I think it's really true. And there's times when, you're just in the pits and you're going, okay, I know I have a choice, but you can't even access the choice. You're just like so in it that you're just like, I remember I was driving and I was lost, and I had my brand new album. This was a few years ago next to me. And I think the first song was Today I Choose. And I remember being in this pissy mood. And then all of a sudden that song came on, and I'm like yelling at myself going, no, I don't have a choice. I'm in a terrible mood. Shut up. And I'm having this cow about it, but it's true. We have a choice. And I wrote a song based on one of my favorite passages from A Course in Miracles, which is, I could see peace instead of this.
Yes.
And I mean, so I was a little chant that I wrote, but then I turned it into this full song. So can I play that for you right now?
Please.
So this is a pretty big song, and I'm going to teach you all the chorus, and you could sing that with me. So I could see peace instead of this. Whenever you have that choice, you can come back to this line and say, I could see peace instead of this. 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 Will you join me? Sing with me now. I could see peace instead of this. It's a great affirmation, isn't it? You get to choose. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. And I could see peace instead of this. 'Cause when I feel lost, don't know where to go, it's always up to me, 'cause what I focus on will grow. Here's the line now. I could choose love, or I could choose fear. But if I want to be happy, the answer's so clear that this, I could see peace instead of this, and I could see peace instead of this. When I'm troubled and I'm feeling so alone, love is always with me, and grace will bring me home. Love is the healer. Love is all there is. Each and every day, love is who I want to be. So I could see love instead of this. Sing that with me now. I can see love. I could see love instead of this. I could see love instead of this, and I could see love instead of this. Let's go back to peace. Sing that. Declare it to yourself now. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this, and I could see peace instead of this. I could see love instead of this, and I could see peace. I'm going to declare it, see it, know it. Oh, instead of this, instead of what I'm seeing on the news every night, I'm gonna say I can see peace. I'm gonna declare it and know it and see it and name it every day. I could see love and joy and peace. I see peace in Ukraine. That's what I'm gonna keep focusing on. I focus on that. I focus and focus and focus and know it. I know it. I claim it. I have it. I see it. I want it. I need it. Yes. I could see peace. You could see peace. We could see love and joy and peace. Love, peace. Here's my big magic applause.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
And I'm going to share a reading from Ernest Holmes' Creative Ideas. If you don't have this book, it's one of my favorite. It's just open up to any page and it gives a treatment that's needed. It's just beautiful. It's I let go of restrictions, because that's where we begin with change. We let go of all of what was. It's in the quotes Romans 8:31, if God be for us, who can be against us? Realizing that all action starts in and as a result of consciousness. Prepare your mind to receive the best that life has to offer. The Spirit works through you according to your belief. So drop all sense of lack or limitation. All things are possible to Spirit. I now allow the divine wholeness to flow through me in ever-widening circles of activity. Every sense of limitation melts away, and every good I have experienced is now increased. Every joy that has come into my life is multiplied, and there is a new influx of inspiration into my thought. I see more clearly than ever before that my divine birthright is freedom, joy, and the experience of good. The divine is not limited, so as a creation of the divine, I let go of all restricting ideas, knowing that life gives according to my faith. I lift my thought. I elevate my faith. I accept the divine presence as now bountifully expressing as peace and harmony in my life.
Mm.
And so it
Amen.
is.
Wow.
And we get to choose to read things and listen to beautiful music and declare that truth. And the beauty of your music is it's all like that. Every bit of it is to uplift and inspire. So thank you for what it is you do and all the different ways that you do it. And I know you've done a lot over the past couple of years to make yourself out there in different ways. And the gift for us is we get to experience that more often. You used to just be in like one center a week, and now we get to see you online. And I want to share, this is one of the things that you've been doing, the second Sunday Sacred Sing at
At
6.
6.
So I just
6
wanted to
is,
put that out there because, well, it's actually 9 where I am, but
yeah,
it rhymes your way on
it
if you're
does rhyme my
Pacific time.
way.
And I know that you have a special guest with you, but every second Sunday you offer this and you do it for free, And I mean, I know there's always the option of love offerings, and I always encourage people to give love offerings. And New Thought artists are incredibly generous with their time, with their, all of their gifts. And I'm so grateful for that. And what we give out circulates. So I always encourage people to, if you're enjoying this, know that Karen is here with out of the goodness of her heart. Go to her website, make a donation. You can do that to any New Thought artist that you see anywhere because they give so much of themselves. And I thank you for that. But that is a magical hour that you give. And you have a wonderful guest this month.
Yeah, I do. I have one of my favorite people to perform with is Gary Lynn Floyd, and he writes fabulous songs. And I'll tell you, I'll just tell you a little story that during COVID, when March 2020 happened, and I had gigs booked for the entire year. I mean, all the different centers I was going to, and I freaked out because everything got canceled. I mean, just the entire year just went away. And I was really going through this. Well, it's actually what you're talking about today. It's new beginnings, because out of, it's that concept of sometimes things need to fall apart before they emerge in a new way that you had no idea that it was going to happen this way. And in my case, when all my gigs went up in smoke, I kind of freaked out, like, well, this is what I've, because when I say gigs, it's speaking at a center, at a New Thought church. It's doing women's retreats. I had a women's retreat actually in England that got canceled, and I had one, and I just had a bunch of women's retreats, all went away. But what was interesting was I went into a depression because it was not only the gigs, but it was also, this is a whole new world, and I thank you for your support of New Thought musicians of putting, the way you just said all that you said about us, because people don't realize that it's like a lot of us, when we would come to different churches, we would actually make our living not so much from what the church was paying us, we'd make it in the back of the room with our CD sales. Well, people don't buy CDs anymore. And so, I mean, some do, but for the most part, it's just streaming. And when you do any kind of, if you buy a tune off of iTunes or the person's website, you're only making, a thousandth of a penny or something like that. And so it's not a real way to, really make a lot of money. And so I just went I literally just said, why bother? Why bother writing anymore? Why bother singing? Why, maybe this was a good run, and now it's time to do something, get a job or do something totally different. But what was amazing was after going through this pity party for a while, I happened to be talking to Gary Lynn Floyd on the phone one day, and we were both commiserating about how, what are we going to do now, and writing songs and all that stuff. And he just said, well, why don't we just, if we were on Zoom, he says, let's just write a song. Let's just write it for no reason. No one's going to, maybe it's something no one's going to ever hear, but let's just do a little game and play a song. And we started this fun little thing that we did, which was he would come up with one line, and we'd mute ourselves. We had 5 minutes to go and write a chant and then come back and see what each other did. And just that alone gave me energy again. And so, then it got to a point of like, well, how can I be in service? And I started doing this second Sunday Sacred Sing at 6, once a month. And yeah, so the next one is this Sunday, and Gary will be my guest on that. And it's been amazing to watch people come on and just sing and cry and dance. And, everyone's muted, but you see them in the little boxes and they're totally participating. And it's a community. I've had up to 100 people on these calls that they're all like, and I say, put it in gallery view and sing to each other. So when you look at new beginnings, that's one of the things. It's like, I had no idea that I would be now. I mean, the fact that I'm with you right now, you're in Boston and I'm in San Francisco and we're sitting here having a lovely chat, that to me is a miracle. And I had to, you said something also before about being open to the possibility of what's a new beginning could be. I had no idea about Zoom or any of this stuff. And here we are, 2 years later, and I make my living now, doing classes online and speaking at churches online. It's a trip.
And we were forced out of the comfort zone,
Yes,
and
very
into
much.
something bigger. And we are, I believe, especially New Thought, we have the opportunity to change the thinking and change the lives of all, because we are focused on truth.
Yeah.
It's not that misconception of looking at the just misdirection. It is knowing that spirit is, therefore I am, therefore we can, and staying in that and choosing to stay in that. We have the oars. What do we do with them? And we get the opportunity. Now, we don't always take it and we're not always conscious of it. And I'll be the first to say that myself. We do things like procrastinate, or we have different character defects that some of them were shown to us, some of them were defense mechanisms. I was reading something on that this morning, and it was I actually posted it on my page if anyone's interested. And it said, because we're spiritual beings, we have the ability to rise above habits and patterns to see the truth. And when we do that, we don't even know sometimes that we're being passive aggressive. Sarcasm. I was raised with sarcasm, and it increased because it was a polite way to tell you how I thought. I used humor, but it wasn't polite. It is absolutely cutting. It's because you mean something and it's not appropriate.
Right.
Because if it was said to me, would it hurt? So just because I'm saying it as a joke doesn't mean I'm not saying it.
Right.
So we get the opportunity to let all those old bags go, letting the weight of the past, like we said, we read that and we let it all go, so that our arms are open and we walk into the new, and we can lift up with that.
Beautifully said. And I also think too, you mentioned procrastination. In one of my songs that I always sing of I Will Be Gentle with Myself, the middle part says, and I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I think that that's also the part of giving ourselves a break. When you look at new beginnings, that it's like there might be, and you're the only person who will know the truth of this statement I'm about to say, but there's a time when it's time to do something. And there's another time when you could just say, if I really look deep in my heart, I'm just not ready yet. I can see this thing I want to start. I can see where I want to go, but I just really don't, I don't feel, I get, butterflies in my stomach that are not the kind of butterflies of excitement. They're like sick kind of, oh my God, I can't do this. And I just, I feel like one of my messages is really giving people permission to trust their heart, to know when something is right or not. Because, I think it's so easy for other people to look at someone and say, oh, you should just be doing this. Why don't you just start, writing your novel or exercise program or whatever it is, And, and I think that that's the real truth telling that we have to do with ourselves, is just to say, am I ready to do this? Am I feeling that feeling of I don't want to because I'm scared, or because it's really not time? And sometimes, your heart will just say, yeah, you're scared, and here we go.
One of the songs that I love of yours is I Give Myself Permission.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. I give myself permission to be all I can be. I give myself permission to live passionate and free. Well, thank you for reminding me of that, because actually, my friend, do you know Sloan Wainwright?
Do not.
Great. Oh, you should know her. She's in New Thought, wonderful writer. We've written quite a few songs together. And we finished that song. I wrote a whole, that used to just be a chant that I just recorded, but we wrote a whole song around it. So I thank you for reminding me that I need to finish that song, because it was exactly, what we're talking about. I give myself permission to be, what I want to do, and allow myself to feel the fear and do it anyway, and all that.
And we got a little behind on our comments. Anne said that it's a wonderful way to spend the evening,
Oh, great.
or your
Thank
sacred
you,
Sundays
Anne.
things.
Thank you.
And yes, we have learned behaviors that we can let go of. That's Martha. So it's just knowing that we get the opportunity to choose. And that there's power in giving ourselves permission.
Yeah.
And you actually begin that on your song, that song, with the Marianne Williamson quote,
Right.
which is my favorite quote. And the beauty of that is, we get to, who are we not to shine? You are given gifts. Who are you not to use them? And especially women, everybody, of course, but especially women, depending upon how old you are. Years ago, it was a very different place than it is now. And it's not perfect now. There's still equality that's being fought for, and it's better than it was, and we're getting better every day. But there's still these old and the new mixing together, and the expectations are to do all. And something isn't, we're often combining the old role that was our grandparents' role of staying home and taking care of kids, which is the toughest job that I truly believe there is in the world, and now going to work full time, becoming and achieving, while having kids that are going to, when I was a kid, my parents didn't drive me to my extracurricular activities. I didn't know anybody that's parents took them to football practice or basketball practice. You just went. Now everything, parents have to take their kids to.
Well,
everything.
and imagine in the lockdown, when all these parents add all of that stuff to the fact that now they're homeschooling them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people did it back then. Their kids are home all day long, and they're trying to conduct some kind of business from home.
And dealing with the emotions of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
While having parents and, not just children to care for, but elderly parents that you might not be able to see. And
I think we are all just, I think that's why I just think it's great that you're doing this. I think it's great that I'm doing my Sunday sings. I think we need as many things as we can have to support all of us in our PTSD of all of we've gone through, because it's been amazing. We just need as much nurturing and permission giving and whatever you need. And that part of us that, like you said, that old way of being, of doing it all, and I'm a superwoman and I'm climbing the ladder and all that stuff. It's like all the women's retreats I do, the women's groups that I have online, we're all exhausted. Everyone I know is exhausted. Feel that for a minute. Just allow yourself to just say, just like when you really just feel the weight of all that we're carrying. Even if you feel like your life is doing well, all you have to do is just listen to or look at any newspaper or news, television, and you see those images of the war, and it's just like you just feel this. If you're any kind of an empathetic person, you just feel the weight of all that's going on. So the more we can do things like what you're doing right now, Just, you know, I
It's
just,
important to step out of it. That's the thing. We can watch something and be in it, not of it. We don't have to get caught up as if we're not it. We're not the, for the blessing is if you're focused on, and they've shown, if you are afraid that your child got in an accident, heaven forbid, and you're in that place of fear, your body doesn't know the difference between
right,
actually going through it or worrying about it. So if we are in that fight or flight place by watching something all of the time and getting caught up in the negativity, then we are experiencing trauma in our body repeatedly again and again.
I
So
agree.
so when we listen to positive music or we watch positive things, when we read a positive book and we're reminded that there's power in it, we can shed the stuff and step into that power and into that choice of new beginnings. It's not hard. Sometimes we think, oh, how do I start something new? It's, I've already got so much, but you're not taking the other with you. You're letting go of the old and
Right.
stepping into the new. And when it's exhilarating, when you're living your purpose, it's exciting, it's fun, it's, as my shirt says, joyful. You're living in a place of possibility instead of that place of depletion.
Right.
So it's changing our thinking to change our lives. Can't imagine where
Gee,
we've heard that.
I've I've heard that before. That's great.
So what are you going to sing for us next?
Well, it's interesting. Just as you were talking, I am actually going to go back in the Karen Drucker vault, and I just decided I'm going to do this song. I haven't sung this song in 1,000 years, but it just feels like what I want to sing right now. And it's from I think it's like my second album. But to me, what cracks me up about this song is I wrote it so many years ago, and it just seems exactly what I want to say today, which is making the choice of, even with all the stuff that's going on, I'm going to hold on to the idea of love and being good to people. So let's go back in time and
Here we go.
sing this. Hold on to love, hold on to truth. Look for the good and then praise it. I'll dance in the light, turn away from the dark, and hold on. Hold on to love. Hold on to love. Now listen to this. This was written years ago. With all the pain and devastation around us every day, it's so easy to give up and close down. How do I keep my heart open and alive when a part of me is scared to reach out my hand? But I don't want to wake up and live each day in fear. No, I want to live my life with a purpose that is clear. So I'm gonna hold on to love, I'll hold on to the truth, I'll look for the good and then praise it. I'll dance in the light, turn away from the dark, and hold on to love. Here's what we were talking about, Gina. Every day I have a choice of how I want to live, and I refuse to let all the bad news upset me. I'm gonna take the time to look a stranger in the eye. I'm gonna smile at someone before they pass me by. 'Cause it's the little things that just make us feel connected. It's the little things that let us know we are one. Sing now. Hold on to love, hold on to truth. Look for the good. turn away from the dark. Hold on to love. Hold on to love. Here's what it comes down to for me. I gotta keep believing that people are good. I gotta keep believing that we're here for each other. I gotta keep believing there is a higher plan and that God's in charge. We just need to give as much love as we can. We've got to hold on to love, hold on to truth, look for the good, praise it, dance in the light, turn away. Hold on. Hold on to love. That's what we've all got to do now. Hold on to love. Just keep holding on. Hold on to love. Keep seeing the peace. Keep seeing the light. Keep being the light. Let's all hold on. Hold on to love. Hold on. Hold on to love and light and peace. 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 Hold on. Hold on to love.
Martha Christie says she's wrapping you in love.
Ah, my goodness.
That's how we know it's truth. When we feel it like that, that's when we know it's shifting something in us. And watching you on your sacred sing, there's no doubt that it shifts things. You have the gift to touch people in amazing ways, and I am so grateful that you use it. Thank you so much for all that you do and the ways that you do it. And I know
Thank
that
you,
you
Gina.
have you have a retreat coming up.
Yes. Yes, I do with Gary. So the person who I'm doing the next Sunday Sing with, yeah, we are actually doing a retreat together. This will be our first retreat that we do together. And yeah, isn't that perfect? Presence, passion, and purpose. So that's what the title of it. But yeah, we still have a few spaces available for people to come, and it's going to be a ton of it's going to be what we've been doing, talking about all this stuff and doing lots of music and being in small groups with like-minded people. I mean, we just need to get together. We need to be in community in a tribe and work through stuff and talk about stuff. So that's what this retreat is. So yeah, we got a few
That's how we
spaces
heal.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning, and breathe. It says, I forgive, I believe, I'm healed. Those are all words because we're processing. We breathe
Yes.
through it. We give ourselves that permission to actually acknowledge and release.
Yes. That's what it's all about.
And I also wanted to mention you have a women's retreat. That's in October, but I know that that's in Washington State. And you've got different things that you've got coming up, and I encourage people to go to your website, sign up for your I know I read your full newsletter. So I
Thank
encourage
you.
people to go and sign up, KarenDrucker.com. And in addition to that, I also wanted to say you have a new album out.
God, you are just a good promoter for me. Thank
I
you,
know I'm
darling.
a
I
big
sure
fan.
appreciate
Can't
that.
you tell? You gave me nothing. I want people to know that that she gave me nothing. She showed up and I had all of this because I'm a big fan. So I want people to know where they can find you. And I stand for love. And did you write that during shutdown?
Yeah, that particular song. We could even end with that if you want. I wrote that with Gary Lynn Floyd also, and that was another thing of us coming together, exactly like with what you and I are doing. I'm just going, how do we deal with this stuff? And we were in this particular case, we were talking about some of the disagreements we were having with friends or family members that were on, all the different sides that people were taking around COVID and masks and shots and this and this. And one of the lines in the song was, when we don't understand, we turn away instead of learning that there could be another way. Can we agree to disagree? I love that line.
Yeah.
But really taking a stand for what it is that I needed to take a stand for what I believe, and saying I stand for love. And I stand for peace and humanity and equality and women's rights and, all that stuff.
So take it away, please. Play us a new song. I love it. And I love that last song. I'd never heard it, but I assure you I will be downloading it soon.
Yeah, that's
and how do people get your new album?
On my website, just go to karendrucker.com and just go to CDs, and you can go to music rather, and you could download individual songs or the whole album right there. And that's something for your listeners to know too, is that, when you go to an artist's website and you get it from them, that's really the way to do it, as opposed to going through Amazon or any of these other places. When you go to the site directly, that always helps. But you just go to my website, and it's right there. So yeah, all right. So let me sing this one for you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna dance. Get up and dance now. These times are troubling me so much I can hardly see through the walls keeping us apart. You got your views and I got mine. We're together in this moment in time. I hope you can hear me with my heart. And now I'm not trying to push you away, but I got something I've got to say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith, I stand for freedom and the good of all. Here's your part. I stand, that's all you gotta say. I stand, could you stand with me? I stand, I stand, would you stand with me? When we don't understand, we turn away instead of learning that there could be another way. Can we agree to disagree? We may never see things eye to eye, but let's hold on to the love between you and I. It's the only way we'll survive. And I'm not trying to push you away, but I got something I gotta say. I stand for love, I stand for peace, I stand for humanity and the good of all. I stand for hope, I stand for faith,
I can't wait to listen to the rest of it. And I'm excited. I love that song. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I will always stand with you without a doubt in my mind.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for being the light that you are. And music has the gift to help people through. It comes an amazing, it's certain people can touch your heart in a way it's like they know you. And you have that gift for so
Oh, thank you,
many.
Gina. Thank
So
you.
just know that, it is so important because if you didn't get back up and stand, we wouldn't have that song. We wouldn't have that light. We wouldn't have the opportunity to begin again. And that's what it's all about, is not being paralyzed by what was or what we see and we think of as lack or limits, but knowing that that isn't the truth, the way, and the light, and choosing light instead. We
Yeah.
can be that beneficial presence from our power, but never from the weakness. So what do we choose? And I choose to hold on to love. So thank you for all of your choices, which just flowed together. There's never a plan. We just go with the
I
flow.
know it was perfect today. I loved it. I haven't sung. I mean, Hold On to Love. I didn't even realize that it touched me so deeply. I mean, I literally have not sung that song. That was written in like, oh, I don't even know. I mean, it's on my second album, so 20 years ago.
So thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for having me, Gina. Thank you for all that you're doing. You are a light.
Thank you. And this network is here because of people like you. Know that we are here at, ntmedia.org. You can go and donate. Because of people just like you, we have this platform that allows us to give good news out to the world, and we are reaching more and more people with it. Not only that they're finding it, but tell your friends. Let them know where good news is. Go and support what it is that lifts you up, because we get to. We get to. So thank you all for being here with us tonight. Thank you all for listening and watching and being that light, and stand with us and knowing that peace and knowing that truth. And I am so grateful for it. So thank you, Karen. Thank you all. And may you have the wonderful Anne says to thank us. She thanks us both, and she's inspired and grateful. So thank you. Perfect note to end on. Blessings and love to each one. Know that you are the light of the world and that you are here to shine. The world needs it. Blessings and love. Namaste.